Greetings, Dr. Mark Winton here from the University of Central Florida Department of Criminal Justice, and what I'd like to do in this video is spend a few minutes discussing analyzing crime scenes and perpetrators using a dramaturgical approach. And I am using the work of Harry Cohn from his 1981 book, Connections, Understanding Social Relationships, published by Iowa State University Press, which is actually one of my first sociological theory books, and I still have it, even though, and I've used it since the 1980s. It's falling apart from use and from age, but it has a wealth of information about theory that I've used as a sociologist and as a criminologist. But what I'd like to do in this video is to kind of take these ideas that I've discussed before on analyzing crime scenes and perpetrators and apply them to hate crimes. And within this whole idea of dramaturgical analysis, what we're doing is we're analyzing the crime scene and the perpetrators as if it's an ongoing drama or play. And we're doing an intense analysis and assessment of the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and the how. So we're asking who is involved in this particular hate crime. What happened? And we want details, details, details. When did it happen? Where did it happen? Why do we think it happened? And how did it happen? The how is extremely relevant and important for our research analysis. So we want to identify all the actors that are involved. We want to know, is it a person acting alone or is it a person acting with a group? We also want to understand the setting where the crime occurs, because that can have a symbolic meaning. And we always want to step back and try to understand the symbolic nature of the crime scene and what the perpetrator is doing, and try to understand what the meaning of the behaviors, the symbols. We want to interpret those symbols, try to understand what's going on. We want to see if there's any props that are being used, or certain statements that are uttered, or are there certain symbols or words that are written down or painted. We also want to look at cues, what seem to lead up to the crime, and we want to try to understand, was this more spontaneous, or was this more planned, or how did the crime emerge? What were some of the factors? We also would like to analyze the roles of the perpetrator or perpetrators or the group, and also look at the interactions and the lines that are used among the individuals involved in the hate crime. We also want to see if there's rehearsal, which gets more to the planning aspects of it. And we want to see if there are particular audiences, whether that be the perpetrator's friends or peers, or a particular group where the perpetrator or perpetrator group is going after, or the community at large, or combination. We want to also look at how the crime is actually staged and carried out in great detail, and we also want to look at the types of impression management used by the perpetrator or perpetrator group, and the outcome of the crime. In addition, we can take a look at the emotions that are expressed during the hate crime, and try to understand some of the meanings. Do we see power and dominance, or more fear, or a combination, or rage, or excitement? What seems to be some of the primary emotions, which kind of helps us to understand the emotions, to understand the motivation behind the hate crime. Back to the symbols real briefly, I did want to mention that the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, has an online database, their Hate on Display database, hate symbol database, where you can take a close look at a lot of different symbols that represent particular hate group affiliations. And one of the interesting features is that sometimes maybe people don't know what these mean. It's kind of like when graffiti is displayed on a wall, let's say, and people say, "Oh, is that gang graffiti or is it something else?" And law enforcement comes in and has some knowledge of what those particular symbols mean, and so that I think is important, and that's where the ADL database can be very relevant for those who are investigating hate crimes. I'll give you an example. There was a case of a store that was located throughout the United States and also had an online presence, and there was Nazi symbols and neo-Nazi symbols on jewelry that was being sold, and there were complaints to the store, and they took down the swastika jewelry, but they left multiple pieces of jewelry that had other symbols that which had meaning to other hate groups, but they didn't understand those symbols or didn't see them as having that meaning and left them apparently in their store. And so a lot of times we have to understand how the perpetrator views their situation and makes sense and meaning of their activities, their actions, and their symbols. And so I think that's an important area. I stress to look at the symbolic nature of the crime and things that are used. And we can look also at front stage and backstage behavior, and this comes out of the work of Erving Goffman that talked about the front stage behavior, the behavior that the person wants to present to others, that they want others to see, and then backstage behavior is behavior that's more private, that occurs away from the public view perhaps. And so we want to look at that as well, which will help us determine the nature of the hate crime in terms of the perpetrator's beliefs, ideas, practices, and motivations. So I think just taking a brief look here at applying dramaturgical analysis to hate crimes offers us a great deal of investigative tools to assist in any in investigation, and whether this be in looking at symbols or graffiti or vandalism, or looking at words that are said during an attack or an attack of a physical nature, or a particular location or particular writings or statements. This offers us a way to begin to put this into a bigger picture to have a greater understanding. And so this wraps up this video, and hopefully these will be some useful concepts that you can put into practice. Thank you.